All right, folks, Shaun McInnis here and Giancarlo Varanini, and this man to my left has just seen and bear witness to South Park, the stick of what?
Fight for the stick!
The Stick of Truth. It combines two of people's favorite things. It combines South Park with RPGs. The game itself is obviously developed by Obsidian, who are well known for their RPGs. The setup is kind of like a basic South Park episode. You're the new kid in town, and your whole goal is to kind of increase your reputation and become friends with various characters in South Park, as well as the well-known kids like Stan and the rest of the South Park crew. And you do that by kind of going on these quests. The first quest that you do is you actually meet Cartman at his house, and he kind of introduces you to all the fantasy elements in the game. He's a wizard, and that's where you actually also select your character class. And there are multiple character classes. You can be a cleric, a mage, a fighter, or a thief, and they all kind of have their South Park-ish descriptions and things like that. So you kind of select that, and then Cartman berates you, as he's known to do.
Jews can't be saviors, remember?
And yeah, and then we got to look into just a little bit of the character interactions. So you kind of go around his backyard and talking to the various characters that are fulfilling the various fantasy roles and that sort of thing before the elves attack Cartman's home.
Peace we once knew, shattered like glass.
Obsidian is a studio that has worked on some pretty hardcore classic RPGs in the past. Does it feel like they've sort of streamlined the RPG thing to work with the South Park license?
It's definitely streamlined. I think people will be a little bit surprised of the kind of elements that they did include in there. So you can equip your character with all sorts of normal RPG things like the weapons, different sets of armor, different items, and then you can actually also enhance those weapons and those pieces of armor with different variables, such as if you have a sword, you can make it a poisonous sword by finding that power up. When you're actually in battle, though, so it's both turn-based and active, so there are certain moves that require timed button presses for maximum strength, I guess is the right way to put it. And if you do that, then you inflict a lot of damage on the enemies. But it's very basic. I mean, you won't find sort of the hardcore character progression here, but all of the elements of an RPG that would a complex RPG are here, like leveling up and the gear and all that good stuff.
The new kid has a power we have yet to understand. Then how can we trust him?
What's cool about this game is actually that, Trey Parker and Matt Stone have actually gone back and mapped out South Park.
And after 15 years of doing the show, it was the first time that Matt and I were like, where is Kyle's house? Because we can always just cut to Kyle's house. And now for the first time we had to walk from, and then, okay, now we got to go to the school. Where's the school? And so we've been spending a lot of time, just for the first time, mapping out how the actual town is.
Last week, a new kid moved into the house on Fuller Street.
You can kind of overlook South Park and see where everything is, which is kind of cool, and it'll be cool for fans to see that as well.
All right, sounds good. South Park, the Stick of Truth?
Stick of Truth.
Stick of Truth.